Hi, my name's Kylie Buddin. I'm a board member here at Summer of the Arts, and we're here having a creative conversation with one of my favorite people and one of my favorite artists, Linahon.
Hi.
Lauren, would you introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name's Linahon. I'm the arts program coordinator at United Action for Youth, and I use she, her pronouns, and I'm excited to be here.
Great. So where did your art journey begin?
I was young, very young. I remember my older sister could color in the lines in a coloring book, and I was really upset that I couldn't do that. Like, I knew it was possible because I could see her do it, but I just physically couldn't do it. And I started practicing, and then I think that's just where the love of like color and coloring and using art mediums came about. And then my parents and my grandparents really like supported that love of creativity. My grandparents even like created like a little studio in my grandpa's jewelry and metalworking studio. So he would be doing jewelry and I'd be over here trying my hand at pyrography or painting mountains and rivers. My grandparents still have everything I've ever made, and it's kind of cringy, but they really enjoy it. Yeah, I think that's basically where it started, and then I just kept going.
So art, like artistic skills run in the family?
Yeah, they do. Yeah. My mom and my dad and my grandma would say that they don't have any artistic skill, but they definitely do. My mom definitely does. Yeah, I just get it from my grandpa, I guess.
So what are your favorite mediums? What do you like to work with?
Okay, so I was thinking about this. I like anything that I can get my hands on. Typically, I go through processes where I find something that doesn't only feel good in the creative process, but also feels good to do. The one that I found yesterday, and it's kind of weird, I'm not totally sure if I like the feeling of it yet, but it's alcohol marker on glossy photo paper. And so I'm like, well, what can I do with this? So like, I love things that feel good to do. One thing is ceramics. I love ceramics. I really want to get back into throwing on the potter's wheel because I haven't done that in a while, and I got my BFA in ceramics, and so I want to get back into that. I love mono printing. Anything messy, really. Something that has a process that I can follow but then also deviate from. I love that. So.
And I believe you worked with paper making and book making in the past.
Oh, yes. Oh, my gosh, yeah. That's another, really anything, I love doing it. Yeah, I'm currently working with a team to just figure out how best to bind a 1,000-page book. And so that is a side project that I'm working on. I love bookmaking.
What's the most difficult project you've taken on that you were like, wow, this took a lot of work?
Oh my gosh. Bookmaking. That's just tedious if you want it to be a specific kind of outcome. Honestly, if I'm being honest right now, any kind of painting that I've started, like in the past, I would create something very fast and it would have its lifespan just be that process. And then I would just kind of, move on from it. But I'm trying to sit down and plan something out and then create it and spend time on it rather than just blah, blah, blah. And that is really difficult because then I'm still in that, kind of mindset that I created this. Now it just kind of exists as it is, but the process was there. Now I'm having to go back and add things, and it just feels weird. I don't know. I'm not used to it yet.
Editing is always difficult. Revisitation is always difficult.
Because I hate it every time I look at it.
It's like, so how long have you been working with young people?
I since 2014, and then I think before that, so maybe about 9 or 10 years, because in undergrad, I had my experience doing practicum and student teaching and School of the Arts at the university. But then I also volunteered at UAY. I don't know if you remember that. I did a semester volunteering as the artist in residence.
I distinctly remember the first time I met you.
It was a good time. So I think 10 years, close to
And
10.
what's your educational background?
I have an undergrad degree. Let's see. I have a Bachelor of Fine Arts in Ceramics. I have arts education degree and licensed to teach art education K through 12. I don't know if it's currently up to date, but I have that license in my back pocket if I need to. And then I got my master's in art education as well at the University of Iowa.
So how do you, at UAY, it's kind of a, loosey-goosey, sort of set up in the, by old hippies. Like, your art education background adds a lot of more formality and a lot of really good process to that. Can you tell me a little bit about the processes that you've brought from your education into sort of this more loose format?
Yeah, so that was I guess a culture shock, I'll say, like coming from the University of Iowa doing the education program and coming to UAY where I think it was Mickey who was like, teens get to decide if they want to do their project. They don't, and I'm like, what? They can just leave during the workshop? What? That doesn't make sense. Why wouldn't they want to stay the entire time? But I got used to it, and it's like, oh, okay, and finding different ways to engage youth, and not just giving them a project and wanting them to get to a certain outcome, which, that I feel like that happens a lot in school, but really getting to focus on the process of it, so like making the process more engaging rather than focusing on the end product. And so that, so I bring my lesson planning skills and things to the art program at UAY. The idea of like planning ahead just in case someone doesn't like the project materials, and I have a plan B, or if they hate the project theme, then I have a plan C, that kind of stuff. So just planning ahead, I think, really helps.
Yeah. Those someone who worked with you and seen the interaction with young people, that student-centered approach is amazing.
Yeah, student-centered.
Yeah. And then can you talk a little bit about social emotional support through arts as well?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, where do you even begin with social emotional support with art? Because I really believe that when you're creating art, and a lot of times when people hear creating art, they're thinking, or they might think, that you're creating something from start to finish that fits aesthetic appeal, that checks all the boxes of what is good art. When I talk about creating art, it can literally just be like sketching or like thinking of an idea, like just thinking creatively. I feel like that's a huge part of the process. Sorry, I forgot the question.
No. We were talking about social emotional.
Yes.
support.
Okay. Yeah. There you go. And through the process of creating art, you get to know yourself a little bit more, and that's a huge part of social emotional learning and intelligence is self-awareness. And when you know your self-awareness and you are aware of how you fit in within the context, then you can build your social awareness. And so art really provides a great avenue for someone to practice social awareness, self-awareness, responsible decision-making, and all these different kinds of things. And so it's really like a holistic kind of, I don't want to say therapy, but it's a way to take care of yourself. Yeah. It's
a great form of self-care.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you have goals in terms of like the way that the art program is run at UAY, as far as like diversity and equity and inclusion and social justice perspective?
Yeah, I do. I'm very aware, and I always self-reflect on this. Am I fitting into the white moderate? Am I just perpetuating this white moderate ideal in the art program? And so I'm always trying to figure out different ways to include individuals from all backgrounds, not just them as people, but their ideas and their perspectives. And yeah, like yeah.
So I know that you do a lot of public works with young people. What are some local pieces that people can see?
Oh yeah, the big one that I can think of is the Coexist mural on the side of what I think it was the Beatology building. I don't know if it currently is, but it's the big mural with like the big bird. I feel like that's a pretty good tell of what the mural is, but it's the Coexist mural. We did that with Sayuri Sasaki Himen, who is an amazing artist, and that whole experience was really great.
About how many young people worked on that project?
12.
And were they paid for their time?
Yeah. No, all the artists, the young artists that we work with, I really fought to make sure that we pay them because they're putting work in and they need to know that you can get paid to do art and you can get paid to be creative. And then it also just builds their confidence. Some of the other things though, like murals that were created, you don't really get to see though because it's at ACT building. We did an ACT mural for the staff there. I had 10 youth work on that, I believe, 10 or 12, which was a really great experience. And then one that we have in the works is the North Liberty Library mural. So, yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about that project?
Yeah, so that is we're hoping to start it in June, the actual painting of it. But the idea is that 5 youth artists are going to work with a local BIPOC artist to create a public work that is movable and weatherproof, that showcases diverse perspectives and really open that community up to public art as well. So
going into the future, well, actually, before going to that, when you look back upon your career so far as an artist and as an educator, how does this compare to where you thought you would be when you were 16?
Oh gosh, I don't even know where I thought I was going to be when I was 16. I thought maybe I'd just be in a classroom, which sounds awesome. I'm not down. I'm not dissing anyone who's in a classroom. But I don't think I necessarily understood the full context of what teaching in an education system was. So I never would have believed that, or even thought that I would be at a nonprofit doing what I'm doing now. Yeah.
What are going into the future, what are your personal goals for art?
For myself or for, okay, well, yeah, okay. Future goals, okay, so first of all, the imposter syndrome is very high in my body. Like I haven't done art for myself in a very long time. What I do at work kind of is what I do. And so moving into the future, I think just sitting down and creating something for myself and making it like a normal practice, like consistent thing that I do, I think is really important, and I'm excited about that. It's just finding the time to do it.
It's been great talking to you.
I do have one more thing to say. Even if you think you can't do art, if you think you can't draw, even if you think you can't paint, everyone can benefit from the process of creating. Whether or not it's like coloring in a coloring book, doodling on your notes, whatever, it really benefits everybody, even if you don't think you can do it.
Absolutely. Looking forward to seeing more art with you.
For sure.
And young people in the community.
Yeah.
Thank you for everything you do for the community.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us in this creative conversation today, and look forward to sharing more information with you in the future.